Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jace.
Good evening.
We are here for another episode. Yeah. A short episode, a non-traditional episode, but fairly traditional at this point. I think we've done 12 launch episodes, so I guess it's almost a tradition. So we are going to launch some League Round 6 today, Season 2, Round 6, final round, minus the 4 that will do a little playoff at the end of that stretch. That will probably be the tail end of August or in middle of August, I guess. So we're going to talk a little bit about last week in Legion, all the Legion that we've done. I think everyone who's on panel tonight has at least played some and maybe multiple games of Legion, so we'll do that. We're going to break down some league stats, both the past league round as well as the upcoming league round. We'll break down the objectives, deployments, and conditions from the last one, and then break down some of the units that are being taken and not taken in this upcoming round. We're going to reveal the pods. Stay tuned for that. So if you're just here waiting for the pods, we're going to probably try to sync it to an hour tonight, but because the pods are cool, a little spicy as I described in the descriptor. And then we'll talk a little bit with other people. Maybe if we have some... have you tried your Shadow Collective? No, I have not. And I'm not this round. But I will talk about what I've been playing and what I plan to play in this coming round. But I have not played that one. Anthony, though, has been playing some Bust, so he might have some insight on that. And on the topic of insight, we are going to have call center, so we'll squeeze in what we can on there. So, Jace, we probably should get our esteemed panel member brought in here, if that's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, you bet.
Let's do it. I meant to ask you last week, Jace, are you in the same room, just like spun around here, or are you now in a different space for the casting? Because I see kind of a different ambiance there. So
I am in a different room. So we moved my office. We removed the guest bedroom to make room for the baby room, and we moved my office downstairs to a nice bigger room.
Okay, so. Nice. Okay. All right, well, let's bring in our esteemed panel member, CanadianBear, the least Canadian member of tonight's panel. It's fairly accurate. I mean, his title would suggest otherwise, but I will assure you he's not as Canadian as we are. That's for sure. So welcome, Graeme. Graeme's in the same space, but it looks like he's has less room because it just keeps, just crunching in on him. As he's, I always meant to ask too. You got a really cool display case back there, Graeme. Is that built into the wall, or is that kind of a unit there? Is that a furniture piece?
It's a unit.
Okay, cool. It's really really neat one. So. Yeah, I always admire people's backgrounds. I'm always judging people by what's in their background. So, what's going on? Don't judge me. I'm on the Death Star. It's fine. It's where I'm at. So we're going to talk all the things. Graeme, we're going to let you go first on your last week in Legion. I know you talked a little bit about your event, but what else have you been doing in the Legion world? Or you can even talk about what you're prepping for in the Legion world.
Yeah, besides Atlantic City 2 weekends ago, this past weekend, I took part in another 32-person store championship. It was 3 games, and then if you were 3-0 at the end, they did 2v2, and they had 2 store kits, so the winner of the 4th game would get a World's invite.
Okay.
Yeah. So, 2-1. Essentially, it came down to a turn 0 mistake. I didn't want to play Sabs again, or Vaps again.
Gotcha. But you should have.
I should have, and I've got another tournament coming up in like a couple weeks. Should be 16, so we'll see how that goes.
Gotcha. So Legion's your full-time job now, or what?
So long as it's within the driving distance.
Fair. Yeah, I can't come to work today. I need to drive 7 hours to a 32-man tournament that I won't be available tomorrow either because I'm too tired. Nice. After tomorrow, I officially am going to be doing nothing for 2 months. So I will be making hobbying my full-time job for a couple months at least. So awesome. And did you play the same list, both events?
Yep. Okay. Yeah, Yoda and the Wookiees. They've been putting in a lot of work. People underestimate the Wookiees.
Don't mess with a winning formula unless the band list says you can't. So yes, talk a little bit about that bitterness that is upcoming in this round. So okay, well, good luck in your next event. So, and did you get a Worlds invite in that first tournament you went to at ACO, or you
no,
not?
Not yet. No.
Okay, gotcha. So
that went to Austin Miller.
Gotcha. Well, congratulations, Austin, on your Worlds invite. So, Jace, I know you don't have a Worlds invite yet because we haven't really had any opportunities up here. But what did last week look like for you?
So my last week in Legion, I mean, I played a Yavin-based game and I finally won one. So that was
nice.
That was crazy, unexpected to be sure, but a welcome surprise. But yeah, I was playing Blizzard Force with its now upgraded, not nerf, upgraded must-take Commander Vader, because I still believe Commander Vader is better in
I like
Force.
Him.
Yeah. Yep. I like him better. And let's just say Commander Vader pretty much single-handedly won me the game, even though he flopped his saves and died. He took down so much stuff. So much stuff. It was pretty crazy.
He can do it. What were you playing against, and what was your kind of battlefield conditions and such?
So we were playing. I was playing against a Jin, Cassian, K2, Chewie double shooty Wookiee list. And we had battle lines. He was blue. We had battle lines, evaporators, and fortified positions. So I like fortified just because I can unhindered speed 2 move all my stormtroopers speed 2 over it and just not care. Mm-hmm. Which it really hindered him. It slowed him down a lot, especially near the end when he was trying to get to his objectives, because I was pretty much had Vader on top of it.
Yep.
Yeah, because we both hit our objectives early, and turn 3, I just burst of speed Vader in and wiped a Wookiee squad. Like, I had injured a Wookiee squad, finished it off, wiped it, pulled Jin in. This is where things got unlucky. Jin rolled back-to-back 4 natty crits in melee when I had 4 dodge tokens on Vader, and I took 4 wounds. Yeah, I took 4 wounds from those attacks, even with surge token defense, so that was fun. Mm-hmm. But...
I mean, you'd kind of feel bad as a Jin player if you did roll 8 crits and only did 4 damage. Like, you could feel bad about that. But
I mean, that's average, though, if you roll 8 crits.
No, for sure. But you would feel bad as the Jin player, even though it is average for Vader to roll out. Like, 4 even just seems bad. It's just like, wow, I should have done more on that. But, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, when I've got 2 surge tokens, too, so I'm basically saving 66%.
Yep.
Felt bad, but Vader just massacred units. Bikes did bike things. I got very lucky. He shot a bike with a fleet trooper unit, like naked fleets at the very end, and got 1 crit. And the bike was on 1 wound, and I rolled the block. And that was pretty much the difference of me winning on points, because Vader went with surges 2 blanks when he needed to make 1 save, and he lives and wins the game.
Okay, so it was a super close game, even though Vader did basically did all the work, and then he kept you in. So I guess single-handedly won you the game, I guess. So
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. And that's the only Legion game you got in the last week?
Only Legion game I've got in the past week.
Oh, cool. I had a light week last week. I played 9 games of Legion, all with the same list in 7 days. I'm on a run here to try to play 45 games leading up to Gen Con. So far I'm 1 game behind because I could not play last night. I might be 2 games because I got work tonight, but I might also try to squeeze in a late one tonight because tomorrow's my last work day. But so 9 games of Legion, all with a Remnant, just FYI. So put it this way. Basically, since we talked about Remnant on the last cast, I've played 9 games with it. And I decided to play the double E-Web, double Dark, double Death, Scout, Short, Storm, Officer list. It has almost no upgrades in the whole list. It has Improv on the Officer. It's Deaths with the config and the HH-12. I did a couple games with the sniper, so a few with that one as well. And but I'm trying to make the HH-12 work, even though I haven't gone against a bunch of armor at this point. And then the darks with just the assault cannon, no a grenade launcher. I was back and forth on that as well. But since we're talking about the E-webs, I threw those in. So I think I had 2 games before that. So 7 games since talking about that. So officially, I've won more games of Legion with E-webs than Ryan, which is like really kind of weird. Even though I've sort of poo-pooed on the E-web a lot, it's done work. It draws a lot of fire. Graeme and I were kind of talking a little bit beforehand that the range bands and what you can kind of do and sort of put that as a prominent piece and sort of force the hand around it. The main thing about the list that I really like is I really like the number of activations and how controlled the Dark Troopers feel in the list versus playing with the Palp 7-act list with the Dark Troopers. They kind of felt like you went and you had to kind of hammer with them. And you really had to really hope that you kind of crested and got the advantage and pressed it. With these ones, it's a little bit more measured. You can sort of manipulate with your activations a little bit more. You got a bit more control. And with the improv officer in there, and generally him being the only guy who takes an order, you can generally proc improv twice a turn, which is really good for them. So you can either try to press to get the darks, back to back or in close concession, or you can sort of try to draw away from them in consecutive pulls, which is also kind of cool. So, Anthony, you haven't missed much at all. We're just kind of recapping last week in Legion, and then we're going to get right into the meat and potatoes. So anyway, I've been having a lot of fun with Remnants. It's cool. I'll keep talking about it, and we'll press on and see how it fares against all things. So I've played against a good smattering of lists, so I'm feeling more and more comfortable with it. I do want to get just absolutely trounced, like at least 5 times, so I can learn some really hard lumps as well, and then hopefully have something to come back from those. So anyway, apply within. So for some games. So. Well, let's quickly rip the social medias. We'll talk about Friday Night Fight. We were not able to secure some folks last week because Jace and Anthony were out, but Anthony, I believe, is back this week or can be. Jace, I also think, said he's available. So
you bet.
I feel like we got a recipe for a Friday Night Fight this week, and feeling pretty good about it. So, all right, Jace, tell people where to find us on the social medias.
You bet. So you can check us out on Twitter and Instagram at Legion_FNF. Facebook at Star Wars Legion Friday Night Fights, and of course check out our Patreon at the patreon.com/The Terrain Studio, where we got some cool card sleeves that just happened.
Yeah, definitely got some cool card sleeves. Holding them right here. They're all secured for patrons, so if you are hoping to get card sleeves, you're going to have to stick around for the giveaways, because that will be the probably the way you'll get them next. I am going to plan to do a second run, and I know some people asked for some support for their tournaments. I have you in mind for sure. I wanted to first get the quality before I start sending them out into nether regions and having them all over, but I'm really happy with how they turned out, so I think you will be as well. Once we get them, we can kind of talk a little bit more about how that can happen. So hit me up on that, and if you already have, hit me up as a reminder. So. Speaking of Friday Night Fights, we'll have one this week, 8:30 CST. Remember, we're kind of a different time zone than some of you guys at a certain point of year. This time of year, we go at 8:30. Other points of the year, we go at 7:30. Sorry to East Coast friends. It's a little late for you guys. I know that. Speaking of our East Coast friends and all of our friends, we want to thank all the folks that have helped us out to doing this show, our Friday Night Fights, as well as doing all our giveaways, etc. The donators that are there, the patrons past and present, we really appreciate that. You guys are actually helping us raise money as we make that trek for that bird dog camera. 76% of the way there, so thank you to all those folks who have helped us out. Remember, terrainstudio2019@gmail.com if you want to help out. You can also help out by being here each and every week to take in the content. All right, fellas, how we doing for time? 20 minutes of intro stuff? No problem. Do you guys want to just quickly recap some of the stuff from League Round 1? We can just sort of talk. Maybe Graeme and I can briefly kind of speak about, what we, if we fell into the minority of the deployments, conditions, objectives, talk a little bit about that. And we actually, unfortunately, but fortunately, we did not get all of the lists submitted. So we actually have to have a really quick episode of Sin Bin tonight. So Graham's actually going to work the controls for that. I'm going to be just a face on the camera, and we do have to make a list for one unfortunate soul who's in one of the pods. We didn't get a list. That's how it works, folks. We don't make the rules up. I mean, we do, but we're not making them up now. And so we are going to have to build one unfortunate soul a list. We're going to be generous. But we're also going to have full control over that. So stay tuned for Sinbin. It's upcoming. So, all right, let's break down the factions here. Graeme and Jace, fairly even split with Red having a slight, I guess, preference this round. Graeme, where'd you find yourself this last round more times than not?
I think every game was probably. I think every game was Red. There might have been a roll off for one game, but that was it.
I found myself actually pressing blue this round a little bit more. So surprising with a 7 activation list, 9 with the darks, but I had a little bit in it. I was playing Palpatine, so I was kind of going for a bit of my my control. So, but I mean, I don't think the stats bear out that there was any significant advantage one way or the other here. Look, so I'm not sure if this one breaks down. I forget if this one breaks down. I think this breaks down wins. So I think Red had a slight win advantage here. So, feels fairly normal. So we'll see what the upcoming round is doing. So as a player with the Remnant list, I'm 800 and I'm almost always getting Red. And in fact, I would take Red more times than not if I could with that list. To be honest, so I tend to like that last cancel with that one. So, having a look at the objectives from round 5, here's the breakdown there, guys. Sab and Payload coming in at 4.5, Hostage and Recover at 9.1, doubling that up to Intercept, a little bit lower than that for Breakthrough, and then KP coming in at like 41%. I feel like I've been playing lately a lot of KP and Intercept. Previous lists, I probably haven't played as much Intercept, but I think KP is just a safe bet for a lot of people. I think people feel comfortable just kind of knowing that there's something that you can secure easily, and then just playing for that turn 6 press to the middle. So I'm not really surprised on this, but it's kind of where it's at. Hostage seems to be popping up a little bit more, and Payload is in there. But I Payload and Sab being tied seems weird to me. But I guess maybe that was played a few times, but not many for sure. So anything on there that we're missing? Something that wasn't really played at all? I don't see like Bombing Run at all.
Yeah, I mean that's not super surprising.
No, given that we had a support ban, right? So
yeah. But still, it's weird there wasn't like a single one, because we had some Mandalorians last round. So
we did. Like, so yeah, it is kind of surprising, but it might speak as well that maybe the support role is a really good bombing run mission. So if you're building that or building against it, maybe not taking Breakthrough if you're or a bombing run if you're finding you're not in the support role, because if you end up against a list with supports, you might be at a disadvantage, specifically if they are able to get last cancel the bombing run on you. So, but it is what it is. That's how it played out. I do feel like I played KP almost every single game. So I did not play Recover. I didn't play Hostage, Payload, or Sab at all. So I played. I played 3 games. I think I played 1 Intercept, 2 KP actually. So that was for me. Deployments were here: Hemmed In, Danger Close, coming in at 9 and 18 respectively. Advanced Position slightly less than that at 13. Rollout at 22. Maybe surprising given that we didn't have a lot of supports, but heavies were still in that round. Battle Lines at 4.5, and then Major Offensive at 31.8. I don't see any disarray on there, guys. No Long March. You're right, and no major. And no disarray. I mean, I did play disarray just the other day, and I accidentally I didn't realize that my opponent just did a quick cancel. I was like, all right, cool, let's play it. I just pressed the next button, and then all of a sudden the disarray deployments came up. I was like, okay, I did not anticipate that, and I missed that. I was like, what happened? So it was fine. I mean, Remnant's okay. You can just throw one dude over in the other corner and feel good about it. Like your officer, you stay over here, officer. We're gonna be over here and collect tokens now. So it feels pretty good for that one. But what were you running, Graeme, in your last round? What were you playing most of? for opponents?
I was doing a Cody Saber list, and I just was not satisfied. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I feel like Palp Darks is okay if anything close. Like obviously Long March I was trying to have no part of, but really everything else is fine. Advanced positions, hemmed in feels really good with him. Major felt okay too. So I haven't done a lot of rollouts, to be perfectly honest. I just find rollout to be a little bit awkward if you can't take advantage of the deployment push, and you don't have to necessarily be frontward on that dog leg, but even having that like sort of that buffer edge that's got that short two, just to kind of be in lockstep with the front of your troops. I find that to be advantageous, but not in the particular list I had. So, but not surprised to see major offensive coming. Like, so if you go back and look at that, right, we had KP, pretty stock standard, early Legion. We have the deployments coming in, major offensive, and then lastly, conditions. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like all I play is supply drop right now. It's just like the pseudo clear conditions right now. Like look at clear conditions at 9.1, and then supply drops like 27, and then fortified. I don't even know why people go to fortified, but I kind of do. Because again, it's almost like a nothing deployment now. There's so much heavy cover. Yeah. People are like, just add some more heavy cover in these, few limited positions that might not have it. So I feel like people are just going fortified as another throwaway condition. So basically you almost have 3 in here. So I know people like supply drop, but I'm sometimes just leaving boxes on the ground and not even worrying about it. So I think people are mostly canceling away from conditions, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, and the people who like fortified are the ones who have unhindered on their units.
True. Yeah, like as you pointed out, Jace.
That's pretty much all it is. It's just like, do I slow you down without slowing me down? Is all that missions really become. Yeah,
or actually just in a certain way, you can actually use your fortified positions to actually slow your opponent down too. You're like, I don't need this cover, but I'm going to throw them in places that are going to slow you down even further. So that's a fair point. That might be another reason people are taking that. So because you can go out to range 2 of your deployment. So limited, war weary, minefield, all fairly even and low there. Hostile environment coming in, and what are we missing? What are we missing on that?
Rapid.
Yeah, no rapid reinforcements. Well, that might have something to do with the fact that some darks were out there. And people are just having like none of that. So I had a game the other day where I dropped in some darks. It was in that disarray game actually. I dropped in some darks and just put them just outside the range band, and of course they get that second activation. And a group of ARC troopers, full ARCs, jumped out, took a shot at them. Did no damage, and it just like literally eviscerated the ARC troopers. It was pretty awesome. So I have only got rapid once with darks, and I was like, okay, I just kind of figured out why they're actually super strong. So yeah,
I'm curious how that's going to be changed this round with darks not being available.
Yeah, just keep rubbing it in. It's just Graeme. It's fine.
Just in general.
I wanted. I'm trying to get Legion games in that I don't have to double up my games. So now I'm gonna have to play League games and non-League games. So, boo-hoo for me and more Legions. So just cry for me. Speaking of cry for, as we're moving on, let's go to the sin bin and build a list, and hopefully, and I'm gonna have to say his name because everyone's gonna know. Second Sam, you're getting a sin bin list, my friend. It's not something that we wanted to do. It's something that we have to do. So, chat, this is where you guys got to come in. We're at that 30-minute mark, which is great. We're pacing well. Sam needs a faction, and so we're going to give you guys opportunity, and you guys are building the whole thing out. Remember the rules from last time. I'm trying to remember the rules from last time. I think we said that obviously they can't take anything from the banned list, but I think we tried to fill every slot, if I'm not mistaken, last time for them. So I think we'll stick with that. That'll be a parameter here. So, all right, Jake saying Rebel, Crow Servo is coming in with SC, Stan with Rebel. So we'll get that. And how it's going to progress, folks, is you are then going to tell us a commander. Then we're going to do some core. Obviously, they are going to have to get the min core, so we're going to give them 3 of what you tell us. And then we are going to progress all the way through the slots. And if they can get a heavy, great. And if they can't, then we're going to cycle right back and fill from commander on. So every slot. Okay, that's what Jake's saying. Okay, good. I thought that was what we did last time. So We got Rebel, Rebel, SC, and CIS. So we're going to give you guys about 14 more seconds, and then we're rolling with it. So right now, Rebel is in the lead. So, and you guys don't know any of the faction breakdown, commanders, operatives, who's been picked. We do, and we're going to share that all with you. But we're going to do that in advance. In advance, we're going to do Sam's list so that we don't influence the picks here. All right, we are at a pause, Graeme. We are going Rebel.
Yep.
All right. So now, Rebel, we need a Rebel commander. So chat, chime in with your Rebel commander. You guys can be a little bit in advance of us as well. I'm going to let Graeme and Jace actually do out the upgrades just for speed and ease here. So Graeme and Jace, that is your job. You guys are going to take care of the upgrades. We're getting a call for Jin. Jace might just have some experience against Jin, so he might know a good, decent Jin build. So we're not going to make a crap build, but we're just making our build. So land speeder wedge. Okay, Crow Servo's all the way to the end here. He's starting at the heavies, working his way backwards. We'll hold that. We have a Jin and a Lando call here. We'll see if we get any seconders or any doubles up, and as soon as we do that, we'll get that one built out. Remember, we're going to build 3 core options to fill those out, and if we got points, we'll come back, and hopefully you guys give them some other stuff. So, I think I've played against some rebel builds. They can be still gunliney. I know that the dodge spam got killed a little bit, but we're at a tie here, fellas. So I'll tell you what we're going to do here. We're just going to take Jake's suggestion of Jin, and we're going to take Shawn's suggestion of Lando. So you guys need to build out a Lando and a Jin for us. If you want to do, if you want to do that, Jace, if you want to build out Jin, and if Graeme, you want to build out Lando, and then we'll do that.
You bet. I got your Jin build right here.
Okay. Tell Graeme so we can drop the points in.
All right, we're going to go Jin with Vigilance, Situational, Recon Intel, and of course her free gun, because her gun's free. So.
Gun,
all right. And what do you got for us for a Lando build? And then Shawn's asking, do the core options include Mercs or 3 minimum? We'll go 3 minimum Rebel faction core first, Shawn. And then if we have points, we'll cycle back. I know you're trying to get pikes in there, my friend. I know you're trying to get pikes in there. Trying to help second Sam out. I see it.
I guess probably just give him a scanner just for some utility.
Okay,
I guess.
Scanner. Does he get? That's it.
I think, or maybe improvised.
Okay.
Well, I'll be nice. I'll give him improvised.
Okay, cool. All right. So how many points are we setting at right now for second Sam?
214.
214. All right. Jake's calling for 3 Rebel troopers with the X21. I think is that the shotgun? Is that shotgun?
Yeah, the shotgun.
Captain SA prepare for X. I like it. Jake seems like he's put a lot of thought into this. Let's just make it happen. All right. We need people. We want you guys getting us that special forces slot filled next. We didn't go operative, so you guys can drop in an operative if need be. Cross already beat you to it, but you guys can go operative, special forces, support, and if you want to sneak a heavy in there. And I think if we go back up, Crow Servo did say land speed or wedge. So that might be an option you could throw in there, Graeme. Just keep adding these points in. This list is going to get filled pretty quick here. So Crow Servo says IG-11.
I mean, that's going to go well with the land speeder.
Yeah, that's fair. Pathfinder's Bistan, says Jake. We're building 800 here. We're not building epic, folks. Just slow down here. Slow down. We can't. Second stab can't be played 1,600 points against all of us. So Jake has my proxy, says Stan. So all right. What's it looking like?
So we need to build out IG and the land speeder. So which one do you want to take, Jake? Or Jason?
Jake says ion rocket wedge unstable. That sounds like a build.
Okay.
That sounds like a build.
Yeah. Shawn's calling for shooty Wookiees. Do we have points for shooty Wookiees in here? Turns out second Stam is just absolutely killer with every rebel unit. Just wait, guys. Just wait. So we'll find out what group he's in, and then you guys may be regretting every decision you've made tonight. So.
So we need to throw a programming.
Give him
bounty or nanny?
Yeah, we'll give him a good bounty. Give him bounty. Yeah. Nanny's boring. Nanny's boring.
Yeah.
Let's see. We were at 738, so we need a support.
Okay, we need a support option. It sounds like we can put an RT in there. Can we get an RT in there? I might not squeeze the points in there.
Throw in naked RT and have a 7-point
Naked RT
bid.
is done. It is done. Naked RT is what just happened. All right. Okay, Graeme, read us back the list. More importantly, read us back second Sam's list.
All right. So we've got Jin with Vigilance, Situational, Recon, and the config.
Okay.
Lando with Improv, Scanner. IG-11 with the Bounty Programming. 3 Rebel Troopers with the XX-21, Captain, Frag, and Situational. Pathfinders with Bistan and the config. Naked RT. And then a Wedge Land Speeder with the Unstable Astromech, Rocket Gunner, and Ion Blaster.
Okay, and how many points? And we'll let we'll have to throw a battle deck together. We could probably actually let Sam do his own battle deck once he gets the list. What is the points and how many activations?
793 and 9 activations.
Okay, 793, 7-point bid. Second Sam, you are welcome, sir. That is the list, Graeme. You've now got all 18 lists submitted, and that's what happens, folks. If you forget to submit your list, we'll build it out. We'll build it out for you.
He's going to be able to use the contingencies.
That is
yeah, he can really use.
I mean, Jake's is actually not bad. It's not bad. I mean, I don't know if it's good, but it could be meta. Who knows? We might have just defined the meta. All right. Well, let's get into the faction breakdowns. We got kind of 20 minutes to rip through the rest of this and save some time for. We'll sneak it around an hour. Second Sam is in. He is a rebel, so every one of these mathematical calculations will be off by all of Second Sam's stuff that's not factored in here. Just FYI. But let's give the breakdown. So here we go. Faction breakdown is as follows. Shadow Collective at 23, Republic 29, Rebel at 17, bump it up a little bit, and Empire at 29%. Those
where my droids at?
Yeah, they're at 0. We were not programmed correctly. So almost a fairly even breakdown there. It almost looks like an even pie chart. CIS with no sliver of the pie at all. And apparently not that strong. So or maybe just not that strong if they can't take a heavy. I'm not really sure why they didn't come down. But Second Sam, you almost became the only CIS player because there was one call for CIS. So you are lucky, I think, in that respect. So although that would have been kind of cool if you were the only guy too. So that's where we're at. Any surprises? Graeme, which faction sliver are you falling in this round?
I'm sticking with Gar.
Okay.
I'm kind of going kooky.
Okay, gotcha. I'm also on the left side of the pie, and I'm going Shadow Collective this round. So, because can't play Empire and there's no CIS. So I almost went CIS, but I'm happy that I did not because I wouldn't want to be in solo company. So, Jace, if you were playing this round, what would you be playing? No heavies, or some heavy bands, I should say. There is some heavies, but.
Some heavy bands. Oh,
you on Empire still?
Probably either Empire or clones.
Okay.
Either Cody or some Commander Vader.
Okay, that's fair. Speaking of commanders, let's have a look at the commander bowl here. There's a lot of them. Maul, Gar, Capo, Clone Commander, Chewie, Chieftain, Clone Commander. Again, I'm not sure. Clone Commander. What do we have?
Or one's Cody. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Gotcha. Cody's on there, tied with the Clone Commander. So, Anakin, Cassian, Rebel Officer, Moff, Agent Callus. I'm surprised to see Moff on there. I can't make that guy do much. Iden, Imperial Officer, General Veers. He plays at weird range bands by my account, and only one I feel like maybe they're very few. One or maybe 2 Darth Vaders. So. Any surprises on there for you guys, or? I think surprise for me is Vader is so low, given the fact that, like, Blizzard Force and really Empire lists that run Vader probably wouldn't be that gutted. Like, dewbacks are cool, and the lat was still able to be taken, and
Yeah, there's only one Commander Vader this round, so.
Okay, only one. Okay, gotcha.
And that's more than there are operatives. So we'll see in a second.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, fine, Graeme. I guess Graeme's really moving us along here. Here's the operative list for the spoilers out there. He's trying to keep up with the show here. So Bosk, Ahsoka coming in at 22.2, now eligible to be in here. So here comes Ahsoka. K2 in at 33%. So lots feels like the Rebels, the factions, probably a lot of them are going to be repping K2SO. Luke in here, Din, Boba, and that's it. But if you have a look at the faction breakdown here for the Rebels, they really seem to be dominating the operative slot here. So with nearly 70% of the pool here. So Bosk is my
Hero Hammer.
Yeah, a lot of it. So SC Bosk is Shawn's favorite operative right now. So any operatives in your list, Graeme?
No.
Yeah.
I do have a heavy, though.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. None in mine either. So, all right, let's jump over to Core real quickly here. So Core is, I don't know, what happened to Black Sun? How have the mighty have fallen? Like, did they get like a 25-point bump? Like, they barely got kissed with an increase, and it's like, forget it. You can't take Black Suns. Pikes are back with a vengeance here. Phase 2 is a small sliver there. Phase 1's obviously all those Republic players, got to jam them in there. A couple medium blasters with some veterans, about a 1-to-3 ratio there. Rebel troopers, very, very slim. So I'm not sure what the Rebels are planning to take in here. Mortars in here. Phase 2 mortar, it looks, or DF90. Is that the Phase 2? Is that the Empire one? That's the Empire one.
That would be the Shore.
Yeah, the
Shore one. Yeah, sorry, that's the Empire one. The Shore Troopers coming in at 4.8, a little small sliver of Snow Troopers, and then all the Stormtroopers. So the Rebels must just either be taking Pike spam or kind of just spreading it out and taking min core here, because it feels like that Rebel number is a little bit low. So
yeah, or at the time there was only 3 lists, so it was 3 Rebel Troopers, 6 Vets, and 2 Mark IIs.
I guess Second Sam just literally doubled this number, so the
pretty
numbers
much.
are way off. The numbers are way off now. So Second Sam, you just skewed everything. So yeah, it's all good. The numbers mean nothing. Just they mean nothing. Yep. So all right, let's jump over to Special Forces. Have a look here. Special Forces, Mandalorian Super Commandos at nearly 22%. Wookiee Gar at 9.5. Wookiee Warriors 6. Strike teams for Gar at 3, Arcs at 9, sliver of Pathfinders also now thrown off. Strike teams coming in here at 12, Inferno at 3, Special Forces at 6, Imperial Death Troopers at 9. Like to see that coming back up. They're one of my favorite units that always have been. Royal Guard at 6, Strike teams at 6, and then Scouts at 3 there. So Super Commandos clearly coming in here at the largest chunk there. So nearly a quarter of the pool. So I myself have 3 Super Commandos in my list, so I will be responsible for some of that skew there for sure. So playing a little SC this round. So
only one Shadow Collective list without Mandos.
Only one Shadow Collective. Okay.
I love hearing that.
Turns out Shadow Collective Mandos must include. Not sure, but just saying out loud.
I was surprised there was no Rebel ones. Like,
yeah,
not a
like
single
Shadow Collective Mandos are better.
Run.
True, I don't disagree. I do think Shadow Collective Mandos are better. I've been on the receiving end of them, and they feel pretty good. I mean, not on the receiving end, but they looked pretty good, killing my forces. So I thought I'd give them a spin because I couldn't take anything else or be creative. So supports are as follows. Graeme, you're responsible for that first one there with the Fluttercraft there. So
don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, you could have been responsible for the real Gar Heavy, the ISP, but you chose not to. So Bark Speeders coming in at just under 6%. FD Cannons at just under 12. Dewback Riders, which I really like to see. Because I don't feel like we've had a lot of dewbacks throughout the league at all in any of the rounds. So coming in at 35, I do really like that. Sad to see no spiders, but there's a reason for that. And then the speeder bikes coming in at 30% there. So any surprises for you guys on the support end of things? Something we didn't see, and Maybe should have. Where's the RTs at? Oh wait, never mind. There's one naked RT for sure. We know that.
Yeah.
Second Sam, you got a sliver of that pool. So again, throwing the numbers off completely. So, but any other support options for you guys? Just not showing up that you might have thought would be there.
I guess the Gar one not showing up, the ATRT not showing up, isn't really surprising. Without the worry about Dark Troopers and heavies just being banned outright. So.
Yeah, that is fair. Then, and maybe that's what those slots are kind of filling in there. You're certainly with CIS, you are filling that slot more or less to kind of be like an armor killer or armor control piece. So that's one of the reasons I think maybe people may have even steered away from that. There wasn't really you weren't able to take your good heavy, and you weren't able to kind of take probably your best heavy cancelers. So that does make some sense. So. I know Pally's been running a couple RTs in his Gar list as well, and running laser cannons and fire supporting into that feels pretty good. So I think that stands up to what you said, Graeme, that maybe people are just not choosing to go that route because heavies weren't going to be a thing. So on the topic of heavies, and great segues by us here, we're going to move into the heavy category. That looks like a peace sign if there ever was one. AA5 speeder truck coming in at 12.5%. There's that support platform that was looking for Graeme to take, but chose not to. At 37.5%. Let's just not get crazy, though. Remember that we had heavy bans this round. Dark Troopers were out. AATs were out. Saber tanks were out. And the...
Okay, the real question is...
Was it airspeeder for Rebels?
Yeah, airspeeder.
Yeah.
37.5. How many is that actually? Like 3?
So it's now 2 land speeders, so that's thrown off.
Oh, way off. It's literally 25% now.
1 Shadow Collective truck, and then 3 LATs and 3 ISPs.
Yeah. Perfect. Now I'm just gonna get on Second Sam because he threw off our peace sign. It would have been perfect, but now it's skewed, and now it just looks like a pie chart. It's no longer cool. And
ruined
fun,
everything.
So, exactly, ruined everything. Wow, who let that guy in this league? So we gotta start upping our standards. We can't be just letting people jump in at any point at the end. So no, in fairness, he was in. He just didn't send us the list, so that's what happened. But there you have it. So not a lot of heavies. Cool that people are willing to try some other things. I haven't really seen a lot of land speeders and or infantry support platforms, really, or LATs for that while. Anthony Oestad's been playing a LAT, so I've seen a bit from him, but I'm looking forward to seeing maybe seeing some LATs in there, and I think it's a cool vehicle. The coolest thing I've ever seen happen to a LAT was when I chucked Vader out of one onto a piece of terrain that he couldn't get off of very well. So that was fun. So that was like, that was a kind of a gotcha moment. I felt a little bit bad, but it was Vader on Vader, so I didn't feel that bad because if I wasn't getting chucked around, mine was. So that was a pretty fun and interesting interaction. So I had to kind of look it up to make sure I could do it. But the days of doing that were cool.
We've got one 501st list and 1 Remnant list.
Yeah, somebody had decided to play Remnant. That's cool. I wonder what they went for in Remnant. Well, clearly not Dark Troopers, but there's lots of cool tools to take. But I'll have to look at that. I didn't look at any of the lists, but once they all get posted, I'll poke around the groups and have a look at it. And poke around the groups, quote unquote. I think I'll know half the lists just in my own pod. So, without further ado, let's get into this. So, if you are wondering what the league standings are, I have them for you as follows, and here we go. There's the league standings, start to finish. Anthony still out in front, but getting reeled in here by Justice. Anthony sitting at 61, Justice coming in at 53, myself at 51. I actually made some ground up this round after having 2 rounds where basically played like no games. So did make up some ground here. Shawn Death at 47, so just nipping at my heels, and we're kind of all sort of packed up there. Eric's in the mix at 42. There's Graeme at 41, J-Rod 40, Silent Sword 39. I'm just trying to think if people are in. Crow Servo's in this round. Hujo's not. Kokazula's in. 36. Jake's in at 32. Strange Event still playing. JD's back, boys, by the way. JD
Nice.
Nielsen joining us after a small hiatus, had some family things, weddings, etc. So he's back in, still sitting at 28 points. He had a real strong start there. Mike Dash is Barry still in. 25. OS is in. Jace out. Not even sure who that guy is. As long as I subtract him from the list entirely. Season 3 might be his run for the top. Dark Sliders.
Who even am I?
Dark Sliders in. Who else do we got? Exile Bullet was basically I thought he posted like 7 times that he couldn't play, and then he's like in and has got his list in, so that's cool. Just gotcha, I guess, tricking us. Apoc's in still. Go down the list here. I think Second Sam, he's in. He was in last round. I don't know if he got any games in, but hopefully he signed up again. So I think this is his chance. He's got the best list for sure. Just making early predictions here. Tyson's in, and I think that's it. There's 18 in for this final round. So if I missed you, my apologies, but you should be there somewhere on there. So and the way we have it structured, there's a lot of opportunity. I think we have it structured that there is as many as 24 plus points for any one person in a group to make a run at. Like, I think that's the max points you can get plus bounties. So there should be and can be a lot of movement. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, stay tuned here. I'll break that down for you in a second. All the bounties collected last round are here. One. Eric was the only one to collect a bounty. I'm not sure who he got a bounty off of, but he definitely collected it. So I don't think Eric signed up for this round though. I didn't see him on there, so he maybe has some other stuff going on. But he's still way up in the standings and managed to grab that bounty. If you're curious around bounties for the next round, this is how they're going to be decided. Anyone with a Worlds invite, you are getting bountied. So full transparency, you will, because I don't know all of them, if you have a Worlds invite, and the interesting thing Graeme and I were talking about before show is that, like, Graeme doesn't have one right now, but Graeme might have one on the 16th. So, like, if you play Graeme post 16th and he wins that tournament, Graeme's now worth a bounty point. So, like, maybe don't play Graeme until after the 16th, just to see how that goes. I'm not telling you have to, but that might be a strategy. So it's just kind of a fun thing, and because we're going to kind of play this over 6-7 weeks, there's opportunity, and because it's kind of summer months, there could be a lot of bounties that sort of get added going on. So Jake's saying the 4th time of the charm being targeted for the bounty. Jake, who has a Worlds invite, so if you got Jake in your group, you don't have to wait till the 16th. Like, get him like right after the show. Like, just get him. I have not set up the groups, by the way. I will set them up as soon as we're done the show, and then you guys can jump in there. Jake has the map packs, so we'll drop those in as a pinned post. Anthony, if you're listening, pinned means it's at the top. So don't ask me in a week where the maps are. They'll be at the top of your group. And you guys are then free to start your games straight away. So, yeah. And Jace, make sure you don't be a stranger. You can get some free fun games in with people too. So,
of course.
Yeah, Jace is able to permeate into the group. So if you're looking for extra games, he might be your guy. So, all right, fellas, because we can get some roundtable time in, and we're still at 53 minutes here. Do you guys want to get into the groups?
Let's do it.
Oh, you bet.
Okay. So I'm going to give you the choice because there's 2, and we'll explain. We can go to Naboo or we can go to Cloud City.
The better one.
Well, I don't know which one's better because that's debatable at best. But, like, one's in the air and one's on the ground. So where would you guys like to go? Oh, Shawn Death, I can't wait to see the pods. I already know one person who won't be in my pod. This guy, like, just comes in to chirp. Like, no contribution up to this point, but here he is, just chirping away. So, Graeme, dealer's choice. You want to go to Naboo? You want to go to Cloud City?
Let's go with whichever one Shawn is in. Like, Shawn Death is in.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Look no further, Shawn Death. Who's holding you up in the standings, and who is actually ahead of you in the standings, I should say, but holding you up in the pod? That would be me, sir. So all your chirping aside, all the chirping has to stop. We ended up in the same pod. Now, Anthony, not so much. So still apparently avoiding Anthony because that's how the dice roll. But the pods are big. So if you're looking at this, you are getting up to eight games. You can play everybody once, just to be real clear on that. I don't know how many bounties exist in this group currently. But they're all up for grabs, and remember, it's 2 points for a win and 1 point for playing your game no matter what. So 3 points on a win, and if you play the stock standard 4 or more games, you're going to have the bonus point. With 9 people in the pod, that's only half your games. So we're really trying to kind of encourage this, and I kind of had this thought before about making this late push, because as we get rolling with the season, some people kind of learn about it, and if they wanted to jump in late but really wanted to make a run and get a lot of games, even though they're joining late, this is the opportunity. So we'll look to make these sort of big pods going forward. We got a couple other things we might try for Season 3 as well. So, but Exile Bullet, A Strange Event, Graeme, Dark Slider, Shawn Death, myself, Shadow Scout, Tyson, and Second Sam. So I'm really, really regretting. I know the pods, obviously, before we start the show tonight. So I was just like, man, this Second Sam list, I'm just like, I don't have a plan for this hodgepodge, rebel, mishmash, all the things. So I was dreading my head. So all those contributors to the Second Sam list that are in this pod, you did it to yourself. And everyone who contributed that's not, I hate you. That's just how that happens. So, Jake says,
how did Shawn Death avoid you again, though? I don't understand how you let that happen.
No, he didn't avoid me. We're here.
Yeah, he's in
here.
here.
Oh, you are in the same one.
Yeah, we are. I said he can't do any of the smack talking anymore. We did land finally in the same pod. I mean, get good is all I can say to Shawn. Like, I mean, if you're just gonna dwell in the lower depths of the league all season and then just like finally emerge at the end, I guess that's how we end up in the same pod. Truthfully, it was the reverse. I was kind of in the lower depths of Lurkins, so but here we are. So I mean, the last few pods I haven't been able to get all my games in. That's fair. I mean, that will happen. We play over a long period of time. I would say, and maybe you guys can speak, but over the 2 seasons I've played a lot of games of Legion. So there's been, I think, only 2 times ever that I didn't get all of my games in. So it's hit or miss. The idea is we're trying to encourage people to get in and play games. That's the whole idea. So only took a 50-50 roll off to make it happen. Hey, I mean, I feel like Shawn's he's just looking for things to complain about tonight. That's fine. We'll give it to him. But I really hope that he gets crushed in our league pods by everybody. I'm gonna the secret is I'm just not gonna play him. Like, I'm gonna play the other 7 people and just like skirt him the whole time, and then just chirp him all Season 3 when we never land in the same pod group. So that's where we're at. So. All right, well, let's not get too much into this one because we got a whole other city to visit. So let's jump over to the Naboo pod. There it is. I think looking at this pod, this one is like, if I'm looking at them, I'm like, I'm kind of glad I'm in the other pod. This is like a pod of death over here. Like, you got Jake, you got JD, you got Dashes in here, Kokazula's in here, Anthony's in here. These guys are gonna go to town on each other. So. Yeah, Anthony coming in. Why am I not in the same pod as Shawn? Okay, Anthony, I can't be in the same pod as you and Shawn, clearly. But in the future, my friend, if only we could get a game in somehow, it'd be interesting. But Anthony's in here, Jake's in here, JD, Crow, Servo. So if you have a look at the standings, you got Jake up near the top, Anthony's at the top, Kokazula's like, I would say well an upper quarter for sure. I'm not sure where exactly he's at, maybe 6 down or so. Justice is in 2nd place. So you got all Mike's obviously a very good player. Didn't play all our rounds, but there's a lot of that's 2 seasons of you dodging. That's fair. I mean, the auto generate is just my friend Anthony. What I do is I just don't include me in the groupings, make all of them, and then I throw myself into the end, whatever one you're not in. That's generally how I do it. So, I mean, the secret's out, but I do the same thing with Shawn. So I've been in the same pod as Dashes for the past 5 rounds. Well, see, Jake, that's how that also goes. See, what I also do is just put you 2 as an auto-include, fixed points. You can't rotate. So I effectively manipulate the entire system to come out to be in my favor is kind of how this all works. So Jace is really the mastermind behind the whole thing. That's why he doesn't play in it. He's too busy, fixing the algorithms to have everybody in this fun league. So, all right, Graeme. As a reaction to the two pods, let's react first to the one you're not in.
There's a lot of bounties in this one. There's at least 3 so far. But it's gonna be it's we'll see if someone can finally break Jake's record with his Ahsoka list.
Okay. There's no new players in here, right? I don't think we added anybody.
No, we've got one new one, and he's in our pod.
Right, and then JD's coming back after a while, but not new, of course. OS Dad was out around. He's back. Actually, I think he missed. Yeah, he missed it. He was doing some traveling, so Shawn needs to stop flipping that two-headed coins around. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I keep where it has 2 heads. So, what record do I need to break, Anthony? Well, he's 9-2 right now, Anthony. So you got to give Jake some L's in the loss column there. So, I just want to slide back to the standings here. So just find out. So, all right. So Kokazula is, I guess he's a little further down at 36 points, but he's still like well up there. So we got Jake at 32. Kokazula's in that group. Crow Servo's in that group. And then Justice, Scythe Dog, and then JD and Dashes. So like basically they're like 25. They're all super tight. That's actually going to be super interesting for them because they're all super tight in the standings. So that will that'll help. So. And then you got myself, CanadianBear in our pod, and then who else do we have in ours? A Strange Event who's in there. By the way, the asterisks on here are actually winners of their last round. So Strange Event won his pod. Eric won his pod, but wasn't able to register this, or didn't register, I should say. I won my pod. Justice won his pod. Anthony didn't win his pod, but somehow still at the top. That's the real question mark right here, how that's even a thing. So... Anthony doesn't even remember what he's playing. That's I mean, that just screams collusion right there. He's just somehow winning games, doesn't know what list he has, just submits just match slips, hoping somebody doesn't pick up on the tag. This Anthony guy, I don't know about it. So and so reaction to our group, Graeme, how many of these guys have you played? And
I think I've played everyone in here except for bottom 3. So Shadow Scout, Tyson, and Second Sam. The only ones I haven't played, I think.
I had Second Sam. Oh, did I have Second Sam? No, I didn't have. I played Tyson. Tyson's actually a really nice individual. I had a super enjoyable game with him. So if you guys get a chance, obviously the people in this pod, he's new to our league, and I had a very enjoyable game with him. Shadow Scout was asking some questions about the league, trying to figure that out. I'm glad I decided to jump in, so that's good. Shawn Death, I don't know. I think he's new to the league. I've never actually seen him in any of the pods, and I've been in all 2 seasons, so I don't know if he plays, but apparently he's in there. He's got a cool name, but not sure if he plays Legion or not. Dark Slider, I've literally played like 4 times in the last 5 days, so I will look forward to that game. I'm not playing the same list, so but he's got some cool lists, so I look forward to that. Graeme and I have played several times. I have not played this list against the list I think you have right now. Or did I play this one the one time with the Darks? Is this similar? No, because
no, this is very different.
Oh, because you're not playing. Are you not playing the Yoda Wookiee list though?
Nope.
Oh, right. Never mind. Scratch that. I know which list you're playing. You're playing the Flutters this round, so that'd be fun because I haven't played that list and you haven't played against mine, so that's good.
I've got 11 acts this round.
Strange Event I have played before. I don't know what he's playing this time, but I'm gonna guess Empire because he plays a lot of Empire. And then Exile Bullet. I'm not sure what he's playing this round. In fact, I wasn't even sure he was going to be in, but I'm glad to see he is. So. Yes, Anthony says, yes, I'm playing SC. I switch between Blizzard, Ahsoka, and SC, then fell asleep. So, I'm not sure. That's impossible. I won all my games. I'm just, let me just consult here. Graeme can back this up, but I thought that said that, let me just go to the admin thing here, make sure I didn't make a mistake, but your points are correct. I know that for sure. But looking at the admin section here, There's a little tab in there that Shawn scored with us. Bounties collected, conditions, pod scores this round. Let me just bring this up. I'm just consulting the chart.
I don't remember how many games Anthony got in, because I think Eric's the only one that got all of the games in.
Yeah. It says Eric with 10 points, Scythe Dog with 9.
Yep.
So that's what I'm looking at right here. So, and then Strange Event won his group. That group didn't get a lot of games in, but he did. And then I had 9 in my group.
He didn't get a game.
And then Justice ran away with his one with the big win for the round at 13. So it was 13 was the highest. Then it was a 10, a couple 9s, and then some 7s, and then 4s after that. So that's, I mean, you can consult the stat man, Anthony, and that's Shawn Death, and he tells no lies because I've dodged him the whole time, so he's accurate on that account. So, all right, speaking of dodging, and we're at that hour 5 mark, boys. Let's jump in and see if we can dodge some calls and then end off the show here. We'll give people the opportunity to show their face if they're going to trash talk, because that's a thing. So. All right, there's the drop in there. So we only got 1 slot, so we're going to bring people in and kick you out pretty fast. So you know how it is. We'll cycle through here. So, but yeah, Anthony, you didn't win, my friend. Eric came in. Just came in with the 10 points. Just sniped it from you. Just silent and deadly. All right, Shawn Death, you got an opportunity right here. I just dropped a link. You can call in. You just badmouth it. I mean, Graham's really probably the guy that's been dodging you, truthfully. So, okay, Jake, Jake's got to dodge the chat. That's okay, Jake. We trust in you. We'll probably see you for some Friday Night Fights. You can tell us all about your World's invite. Jake's probably got it made into like a pin that he wears at this point, just like strapped onto the shirt, just like, yeah, it's my World's invite right here. It's laminated. It's probably got a lanyard on it, and probably got an air tag just in case he loses it. That's, by the way, when I win my invite, I need to put it in someplace safe, and then I'm going to tell everybody so that you guys can all remind me of where it is. So I was so paranoid, like when COVID happened, and I was like, man, this World's invite, I'm not going to lose it before I'm ever going to be able to use it, kind of thing. So yeah, I was a little worried. So speaking of a little worried, I'm a little worried that nobody's going to take up the call here. There was a lot of chatter about collusion and such and points in this business, and nobody's got the gall to come in here at all. So Jace, are you planning on any Legion tournaments? Any of those tournaments that are happening like in and around like Saskatoon? I think there's gonna be one at Dice Hollow. I think there's gonna be one at Amazing Stories. One gonna be at the Den. I think that's the 3 that I know of. I don't know if we plan on having one here or not. I'm hoping that we can get one at the store here, even though they don't do a lot of Legion in store, but be an opportunity for sure.
Yeah, it depends. My July weekends are really busy, but once we get into August, I might be able to hit 1 or 2 if they're in there. But
I think
we'll have to see how things are going.
I think the Den's not till like September, and I think the other one might be even like later than that. So that's good. Okay, we got a first time caller, long time listener here calling in. So let me just drop this individual in here. Just 1 second. Overlays. Who are we looking for? Okay. All right, Shawn. Welcome, Shawn. Anthony's gonna call in. Doesn't follow the rules. That's fine. We'll get Anthony in here. Go ahead, Shawn. What do you got for us tonight?
Yeah, I was just I was thinking about the double bus CS list, and I was just curious, like, if you drop the basically naked pikes and put in CAD, how that would play out. So I've been thinking about trying to run that list, and since I haven't played the double bus list, I was curious what your thoughts were on that.
Well, Anthony might be. I can't even get Anthony to cooperate here. There he is. Okay, good. Anthony's been playing some bus. Anthony, just by the way, you can go check your list. I think you. I went and looked just while I was in there. I think you are playing a bus this round. So, yeah. And then Anthony's also a CAD player. So to be honest, Shawn, I might just defer and see if Anthony's got any insight on how that might play out.
Yeah. No, it's good. CAD's amazing. So, and the buses are also OP. So, yeah.
would you run him in the bus to get him up there, Anthony?
No, I like to put
Just
them
do the
up there
infiltrate?
with the peekaboo.
Yeah. And so what were you thinking, Shawn? What were you gonna use? Like, how were you planning to use them in tandem?
Yeah, I was gonna leverage just the kind of shenanigans that CAD brings based on what they did, where they placed, whether I put him on the board right away and just drop the token for the retreat once he's got his bounty, or just use it as kind of you don't know where to go. Have minefield in that list as well because I've got
Yep.
2 buses and 3 bikes, none of which give a care about mines whatsoever. So it's just all this kind of you're moving and literally having to dodge mines, right? Like the literal minefield. So that was kind of like more of a head game sort of list I was thinking of, with obviously having Black Suns in the buses just for that punch power. I just wasn't sure how well it would stack up against certain things like Darks are still in the meta, and that's a little bit lean on anti-Dark meta. Yeah, Black Suns can tear up a Dark unit if you get there, but you have to be able to get there and do the work before they blow your Black Suns up or possibly take out a bus.
Yeah, I think that's
kind of things to say.
Well, Anthony should speak to the suppressive power of the triple the triple swoop bike bus. I've obviously played that several times, but Anthony just most recently played it and was saying how awesome it was.
Yeah, I just played it in Yavin Team Base, and oh my god, that list is crazy. But yeah, it'd be pretty useless against Darks. Darks just don't care, right?
I'm hoping to face some buses actually in practice with that remnant list, because I think the double Dark and then double HH12s are gonna just be can openers.
Chew through it. I don't know that Darks are as scary without the frag launcher. If you're just sitting at that range 3 band, just because of heavy cover and how fickle black dice can be. I think where they really are the scariest is when they can get to the range 2 and just blow stuff up, like just delete units and there's nothing you can do about it.
With that one, yeah, you are a little bit susceptible to like crit fishing, but the thing is that throws 8 dice without a name. So on average, you should be really actually proccing 2 crits on there, and then if you can add in 2 aims reliably with that, which you can, you on mathematically should be rolling about 2.5. So even though they don't have any impact in there, they still can have that. They can still have that punch. Obviously, there's other impact in that particular build. I think you're right. I don't think straight up Darks are not going to be the answer to be the armor killer. But if you're not killing them either, they're looking to counter whatever comes out of that bus, and then I think that's where they're really going to start pressing against those Black Suns and maybe some of the other stuff that's going to come in. So they're not really going to be that susceptible to your running your swoops. And I don't know if you run guns on your buses or what the plan there was, but
yeah, for sure. Like the double bus has the quad gun on it for sure, just because you don't really have enough threats without it.
Yeah. I don't mind the crit one gun on that bus, to be honest, depending on how you want to play. But if you're going to run as a delivery device for Black Suns, then I think the quad's a better choice for sure.
Yeah, and it's good for popping other buses, and that impact is really nice because as Shadow Collective you don't have a ton of impact anyway. You have a lot of impact 1 guns on your pikes, and those buses with impact 2 tend to be a big help.
Triple Mando rocket.
Well, yeah, but Mando's overpriced.
That's honestly what I know that there isn't heavies in this round, but I was like, I'm going to play them anyway. But I think that's where that triple threat basically makes any heavy just weep. That I have been on the receiving end.
I mean,
units,
Jedi or anything, right?
Yeah,
anything,
for sure.
You just put that into it's in big trouble.
Yep, it is, but it's quite reliable against those buses, that's for sure. So,
it's a big alpha.
I still want to see.
Yeah. I know a lot of people try to take out strike streams aren't super common anymore, but they try to find out if anybody's kind of like left a unit just enough forward. They try to blow that up and then run away with their super commandos, because you're rolling 16 red dice with your 4 squads and just trying to blow things up, and then now you've got the points advantage. You can just hide.
Cracking generic officers that are like, vigilance / improvised order like carriers aren't bad either, right? You don't even have to generally commit all the commando could do that, but just to sort of like cut that like sort of dead act sort of control based element is not a bad play either.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Graeme? Sorry, you were starting in on something.
Oh no, I'm just I'm still waiting to see someone severely hamper a dark unit using the reckless driver. Just only roll paint on those white dice.
Yeah, like could a good solving whistling birds attack do some damage in there too? So I so want to do. I just haven't played Din, but I so want to see and hear about like good whistling bird attacks. I haven't really heard about too many, but I'm not sure if anybody's been on the receiving end of them, but. I haven't played him
too much Din anymore. He's kind of disappeared.
Well, that's the thing. I've actually I've played against him a couple times in the last little bit. So I don't know if that's just like sort of people kind of hanging on to the like the Din because that's their guy. That's their boy. But yeah, you're right, Anthony. I don't think I've run into too many because I don't know how many people are playing him. But I think they want him to be really good. So
I think you'll see more play now that Boba's more expensive.
Good.
Because before he was the exact same cost as Boba in most loadouts, and Boba was just doing what he did better.
Well, Boba's amazing.
Yeah, and I don't know if the points buff were enough to be like, oh yeah, I can't take Boba anymore. He is still pretty good. So
Boba's still pretty amazing.
I will be perfectly honest. I hadn't played against Rebel Boba enough, and I completely forgot until I was playing against Darkslider that he gets an independent standby with Sentinel. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What the?
You do not want him to get into melee.
Yeah, I was just like, what the heck? I mean, I killed him, but as soon as I knew that, I was like, oh, he's priority 1. He's got to go. But when he said that, I was just like, oh, man, because I was like doing my standbys with the E-Webs and Sentinel, and then I was like, oh, Boba is I was like, when did he get a standby? He's like, oh, yeah, no, he's independent standby. I was like, okay, good. I'll stay at a range 2. He's like, no, he's range 3. Yeah, that's really good. I did not.
That's really good.
I did
but
not
it
realize
also
that.
Means he's got a big target on his back. He goes down pretty quick usually.
I agreed. I did have to. I mean, he's how Boba can sometimes go, right? He can just like roll nothing but blanks, and then other times it's just like, is there blanks on his dice?
Impossible to murder.
Yeah. And that always seems to be the way. There's only one or the other. It's not like plink damage Boba, and I find Sabine's the same way for me. Anytime I play Sabine, she's either like an absolute tank or just tanks. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be. So that's why I'm playing triple Mandos, because I'm well prepared for either just getting wiped or just not dying. So, I mean, when I played against Nick, 100% saves is what I saw. So, I'm just believing
quick game one.
Yeah, exactly.
No faith in red dice, so that's why I basically never play Mandos, because I know they're just going to die in 4 shots, 4 kills.
Well, this is why I've actually been having fun with Remnant. I'm just like, I feel like over the course they've rolled fairly well with just like average dice. And what I've realized with red dice is if you roll 1, you're rolling a block. If you roll more than 1, you're rolling 2 blanks. It's just like, what is happening? Why is this not like?
I find
50,
if you roll 1, it's always a blank.
Okay, fair enough. I think that with Force
That's
users,
been my experience.
See, for me, it's been the opposite, but maybe that's because it's 50-50, I guess. That makes a lot more sense now. So, yeah. Speaking of which, 50-50, that's exactly how I've avoided you all this time, Anthony. Just never flipping the right side of the coin.
Yeah,
so
no shenanigans happening there.
no shenanigans at all. Listen, because if I'm not in your group, I'm not in Shawn's group. If I'm in somebody else's group, it'll be Justice.
Me and
will
Shawn
be like,
have been in the same group like every pod, it seems.
You don't have it, see, and Justice does that same complaint to me. He's like, every pod we're together, we're never apart. And now we're apart. So you can't please everybody all the time, and currently everybody's on this panel apparently. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. So are you down for Friday Night Fights this week, Anthony? Is that your plan? Is that your goal?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, football's done, so I'm good to go.
Okay, excellent. That's good. Anybody, before we let everybody go, Shawn, you got any upcoming tournaments?
Yep, there's another local store tournament, so gonna go to that.
Okay.
Now that I got the invite, I'm not looking to travel too much, so there's going to be a couple in Wisconsin. I'll go to those, but I'm not going to. And I'm also going to the 3 Foot Good tournament in October, but nothing super far travel wise.
I heard that tournament's. I think somebody was telling me that tournament's like almost like sold out. There's like that 3 Foot Good tournament. Is that right?
Yeah, I'd have to double check if anybody's dropped, but last I checked, it was sold out.
Oh, that's good. That's good. A lot of tournaments I'm hearing are just like filling up super fast, which is most excellent. So, Anthony, you're gonna do the August 5 one up in Saskatoon. Yeah, that's at Amazing Stories, I think that one. So,
yeah, I was gonna try and do Winnipeg, but I go to Kelowna the day after, so.
Oh, gotcha.
But I don't know. I might still try it out. We'll see.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna do that one, and then I can't do the August 5 one. I'll be at Gen Con, so I can't do the local 8-man store tournament, so I'm just gonna go try to get through the 64 2-day slog into Gen Con. Just taking the easy route, probably sneak through submarine, that no problem. So no, that'll be a consolation prize if anything. But Gen Con, I think it's a small trade off to go take in a 4-day event. It's gonna be good either way. So. Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, I look forward to the pods. Like I said, right after the show, I'll stay on here. I'll get them set up. So you're either in Cloud City or Naboo. The map pack is ready, Anthony, just for you. I'll pin it. And tag you. And pin it again. Then I'll make an instructional video on where to find it. I don't know what the maps look like. Jake just does that, so have no idea what they look like, but hopefully they are good for Mandos and bad for everything else that's in my pod. I have no idea. Don't forget, if you guys are in the pod, stock standard practice, just go post your list so everybody can see that and do the introductions, get your games in. I think what we'll be doing this, looking at the calendar here, I never really looked at this before, but I think with 1, 2, 3, 4, I think if we go and we set an 8-week, or should we do 9? Should we do 9 with 8 players? Yeah, let's do 9. Let's call League done on the 26th of August. So you'll have basically 8 full weeks to get your, just under 8 full weeks to get your 8 games in. So you'll set a game a week pace. So Anthony will be done probably by Tuesday next week, because he likes to play all of them at the start. So that's good. And then forget who he plays and then not post his scores. So just call him. Anthony has basically been the epitome of everything that we've had to go in and correct. So Anthony's just it's good. He follows the rules. He just he just makes them up kind of.
I've been out coaching. I haven't played a game of Legion. I can't remember. Well, I guess I've been playing in team base, but other than that, I haven't played any Legion.
Yeah, can't remember what list he submitted. All the things.
Well, Graeme messaged me like last night at like midnight or something, and I'm like already falling asleep. Then I'm like, okay, I didn't even think about it. I guess I gotta make a list right now. And I submitted like 3 separate lists. I started with like Ahsoka. I'm like, I want to try Ahsoka out. And I'm like, oh, what about this? And I made like 4 lists, and then I can't remember what lot. I didn't even remember which one I submitted the final. So I guess it was Shadow Collective.
You go look at the sign up, and Anthony's like, yeah, I can't play this round, boys. Next post in. All right.
Well, that's Kokazula. Kokazula convinced me.
Gotcha. Just are you in the round with Kokazula? Are we in the? Are you in the same pod?
He's always in
my.
He's always
there
in
you
my
go.
pod.
Oh, you got him. Good. All right, for you guys.
There you go.
These pods look pretty much like the same pod I have every round. So.
Well, I mean, this pod in theory should be like double the size. So it has
double
to.
The size. It's the same guys I play every time.
Well, I mean, that in fairness, some of the people have been pretty dedicated and played a lot of league games. So I have played against Exile Bullet, Strange Event. I've played against Graeme. I have played a lot against Darkslider, not in the league. Shadow Scout I haven't. Tyson I have.
I haven't played like half the guys in that bracket, but that's because that's your bracket and you keep them to yourself.
I hand pick it. Yeah, hand pick it. So
and the ones in mine, I've played all of them multiple times.
I mean, yeah, I have to keep track of all the people you play every single round, Anthony, so that I can manipulate the pods to make sure you get those same people. So it's like it's a balancing act to try to keep track of your social schedule and all the things. So yeah, so I mean, it's what I do. I basically just sit around and just trying to think of ways to make Anthony just have complaints. So, but
you heard it here. You heard it here, folks.
Well, if you want to hear Anthony complain, come check out Friday Night Fights because on turn 2, 3, and 4 he'll quit. On turn 2, 3, and 4 he'll quit, and then he'll win on turn 5. Just say it. So, the more times Anthony quits, the better he does. I'm just saying. I've seen it enough times from this chair right here. So, yeah, awesome. So. Well, Shawn, I apologize that you had to sit here and listen to this family counseling session that we've now broken into, and for all the people who are in the league, they're just like, wow, this is what this is all about. It is actually like this a lot. So me, Pally, and Justice and Darkslider got into just a hilarious conversation the other night while they were playing a game, and all I'm gonna say is. Justice apparently watches TTS while he's sitting in the hot tub. That's all I'm gonna say.
And with that,
that's where he's consuming and wears Hawaiian shirts. So it's all a bunch of awkwardness, but it's all part of the fun. So, all right, guys. Well, good luck in your tournament, Shawn. I know you got an invite already. You lucky guy. Graeme, good luck on the 16th. Anthony, good luck on the 5th of August. If you're not playing before that. Jace, play some Legion. That's all I can say to Jace.
We'll try.
Join a league. I don't know. Do something. So.
Do something.
Yeah, exactly. And I will try to get as many practice games in with Gen Con list that I can't play in the league list, and try to also fail terribly at my league list. So
what's your Gen Con list? Are you taking Dark?
I'm probably gonna take that Remnant.
Oh, I hate you.
Why?
Because I hate Dark Troopers. They're just so stupid.
Well, there's only 2 in the list.
At least it's not double heavies.
It is double heavies.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, but it's not like double heavy weapons.
It is double heavy
it's
weapons.
better than heavies because.
Well, a double assault cannons, I guess. Sorry, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got rid of the rocket launcher and just added two troops of Death Troopers. So small upgrade. Yeah. Let me just drop this one body and just add in these other 2. So the real kicker, Anthony, what I can't get over is just auto-populating 9 free aims or dodges a turn. That's just and it doesn't need any order control. It's like every time I just order my officer who's literally looking at she is like worse than Krennic. Like Krennic sometimes crests the wall, or you can like sometimes see his silhouette. Not her. Not her. I just put Becky in the corner as far away as possible from everyone and be like, you just sit here and do nothing.
Time out.
100% timeout. So
you get to use 2 units that cost less than an AAT but shoot twice a turn with more dice.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
It's good, really good.
What's wrong with that?
It's like, there's nothing wrong with that at all. It's a perfectly balanced unit that was very well thought out, and it's good. Good stuff.
And with Anthony's salt on Dark Troopers, we'll just leave it there.
Yeah, we don't even have to wait till Friday. Anthony's already started down the salt mines, so just be a continuation.
It's the one unit in the game that I will not buy. I will not buy them.
I haven't even unpacked them yet, but I probably should get going on that at some point if I'm going to actually play them in real life. So, yeah, just bringing all unpainted stuff to Gen Con for sure. So, not going to win any painting competitions, that's for sure. So, try to win it on the tabletop. So, all right, well, stay tuned. We'll just wind Anthony up on it because I think Jace is playing triple Dark Troopers on Friday. So,
nice.
Oh yeah, totally.
I mean, you almost have to at this point. So, all right, boys, have a good one. We'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for calling in, Shawn. Thanks, Graeme, for coming in. Anthony, thank you. We'll get the pod groups going and let the games begin. Not me and Anthony though. Never.
Never.
All right. Peace, guys.
Good night.
Cheers.